Marauders, welcome back to the channel. So this was a win. This evening I'm going to be installing a windshield on the front of the RZR Pro XP Premium. Even though this is a 64-inch wide side-by-side, you get a ton of mud inside the cab of this unit, and my accessories are trickling in. Also going to be installing the front fender flares and see if we can reduce the mud going into the machine. Quick walk around of what I do have installed on the side-by-side. I have the front bumper, the low bumper on it, which I really like. Get a view of that. The front camera, which is awesome. Rock sliders, which are a must to have on a side-by-side in my opinion. Rock sliders are my second choice in accessories for a side-by-side. Second to a winch, and I'm still waiting for my winch. I've installed, of course, the roof. I'm not going to say it, but you know how I feel about the RIFAB storage cargo box. Excellent. Low rise rear bumper, which is really like that. You can see, let's look at the rock slider. Man, that's got to be an inch dent in on that rock slider that saved my machine. On the other side, this plastic cap, I hit a tree. And I just obliterated this cap and shoved it inside the rock slider. Very important accessories. So first, I'm going to take a number 40 Torx bit and loosen up the front mount screws on the roof, and I'm going to remove those, and then the glass windshield slides up underneath, and then I have brackets with 27 Torx bolts that go in from behind to hold it in place. We'll get going. So I want to keep this channel real. You're going to see my successes and my failures, and I thought the hardest part of installing this windshield was going to be carrying it off the garage floor and putting it on the machine. And I really struggled with the clamps, and you'll see that later in the video and how I fixed them. So before I take this foam out that I was worried it was going to scratch the paint, this foam here. Before I take that out, I'm going to install these 27 Torx screws, number 27 Torx screws that have these clamps that hold the windshield in place. And I'll try to show you that from the other side. And I think you push, yeah, and I might have to pull the foam out. Get that out. So maybe shooting through the window is a better view. And I'm going to try to use this clamp to compress. Installing these windshield clamps should have been the easiest part of this installation. The hardest part I thought was going to be installing the window, which my wife helped me with, lifting it off the garage floor and putting it in place on the machine. I could not get the clamps to align with the metal piece, the threaded metal piece that's mounted to the window frame. No matter what I did, I could not get it aligned. I tried to clamp the windshield down to squeeze the foam and hoping the threads would line up with a bolt I had to put in. And anything I did just wasn't seem to working on both sides. It was just frustrating. And what I finally had to do was bend the threaded metal tab that's mounted to the frame, bend that a little bit, and oblong the hole to help get a square alignment on the threads mounted to the windshield, oblong the hole where the bolt passes through in order for the thread to line up and tighten the clamp down. Not fun. I do this. Sorry for the fast forwards. I want to keep the video short, but I want to keep the video real, my channel real, and show you I struggled with this. Not fun. So let's do a close-up. This assembly, there's a nut mounted on the window frame that this clamp goes on, and there isn't enough clearance in this hole to put the washer, the spacing washer, and the bolt, and to get it to align with the nut, it's off. So I had to widen the hole where this nut is, the hole in the clamp, with a 1/2-inch drill bit. And really relieve it. And I got one side on. We'll see if it works on the other side. Not fun. Not an easy scenario. Let's try this again. This has been an hour and a half on this. One of those accessory builds that you think is going to go a lot easier than it should, and it's just a disaster. And this one appears to need even more clearance on it. I might be able to grab it and bend it out a little bit. So this actually worked. I bent the metal flange mounted to the window frame, bent it out a little bit so that the threads on that metal flange would align with the clamp that I put over that and the bolt that I have to thread into it. You can see me bending it aggressively. Man, you have to be aggressive sometimes with the accessories, and that seemed to do it. That did it, and I was able to thread it and get the clamp on. Boy, oh boy, this has been a son of a gun. Wow, that was not fun. I think I got it. Let's see if it sucks it in. Not fun. Polaris, you killed me on this one. Woo! Can't get it any tighter. So this clip, I get something better to point with. This little metal bracket that's on the window frame has a blind nut welded to it. And I could not get that nut aligned with a bolt going in through this plastic clamp. It just wouldn't. So I had to relieve that hole, make it a 1/2 inch bigger so that I could align the bolt with the nut to install it. And then on the second one, I actually had to bend the part of that metal bracket where the bolt is, bend it out a little bit, angle it a little bit so I could get the bolt into it. This should have taken less than an hour if those parts were manufactured correctly. And I think the issue is with this bracket, I think they need to give it a little more flexibility in the alignment with that blind nut. So it's bolted, the windshield is bolted at the top, same holes that hold on the roof, bolts that hold on the roof, and the blind nut on the back side of it here. Hold that on, hold the top of the windshield, then a clamp on both sides, hold the bottom of the windshield, weather stripping around the side, thick foam weather stripping in the front under here. The vent, which I wanted because I know you can't just have a straight windshield. When you ride on the trail, you need some air flowing through. And that's how she looks. Let's take a look on the inside. Looks good. A little glare in the garage. I have ordered a windshield wiper kit. I hope that assembly, I hope the windshield wiper kit assembly goes easier. So, not getting to the fender flares in this video, I think it's already gone too long. But I have to install the fender flares tomorrow because we're riding the next day. So Marauders, welcome back to the channel. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please, you'll learn from my mistakes and my wins. I think this was a win. Wasn't my fault. The blind nut wasn't aligned, couldn't be aligned with the plastic bracket or clamp. Please consider subscribing to the channel, liking this video, and sharing it with others. And get out and ride or play or hike or walk in the great outdoors. You'll feel better. Or in your garage. That makes you feel good. Gotta check the blood sugar, right? Let's see how we're doing with glucose today. $119. I ate probably 3 hours ago, so I think that's excellent. I think you guys would agree with me. Appreciate all the diabetics who watch these videos. Appreciate your comments. This helps after dinner, getting out and puttering in the garage, I think knocks down that glucose level. Please wear a helmet if you ride moto sports. Let's stay active. And hope to see you on the trail. Thank you. God bless. Let's respect each other's decisions. Let's think about our community members and our law enforcement. They're in a tough situation now in this country, and believe me, so are minorities. We want to pray for them both. We got to have peace. We have to work on this. Hope to see you on the trail. Thank you and God bless. And we're getting there with the accessories on this machine. Oh, I hope this keeps the mud out. Man, do I hope it keeps the mud out. Fender flares will go on tomorrow. I'll do a video on that. Hopefully upload it soon. Again, that will help cover up the wheels sticking out. And there's also a flare that goes on the back. All these gills. Ugh. I may have forgotten to mention that I do have a back plastic enclosure for the back because mud flips up and ends up coming in the back of the machine also. So she's getting there.